The whispers in Gotham's criminal underworld have become a roar, and it's all thanks to one man, Oswald Cobblepot. For years, he was just a footnote in Batman's story, a grimy underboss with a crooked nose and an even more crooked smile. But now, his time in the spotlight has done something no one saw coming. It's launched him into a stratosphere of critical acclaim previously reserved for prestige dramas, completely upending what we thought a DC show could be. The Penguin isn't just a spin-off, it's an awards-season titan, and it's on the verge of pulling off a shocking upset. The numbers are unbelievable. The Penguin has soared past all expectations, racking up an eye-watering 24 Emmy nominations. Think about that for a second. We're not talking about a couple of technical nods. This show is competing in the biggest categories, including a nomination for Outstanding Limited Series, an incredible achievement for any project, let alone one that was born from a comic book movie. Colin Farrell's deeply transformative performance has rightfully earned him a Best Actor nod, and Kristen Miliotti's role as the ruthless Sophia Falcone has placed her in the running for Best Actress. This isn't just a win for the show, it's a massive win for the entire genre, proving that these stories can achieve the highest level of artistic recognition. But that's only half the story. The real battle is the one it's fighting with one of the most celebrated shows of the last decade, Watchmen. Back in 2020, that show dominated the Emmys with 25 nominations, a record for a comic book series. The Penguin came just one nomination short of that record, but it has something Watchmen didn't: a clear path to more wins. While Watchmen took home a massive 11 trophies, it still lost in several key areas. The Penguin, with its widespread nominations across a range of categories from acting to technical awards, has a very real shot at taking home more gold than its predecessor. This isn't just about matching a record, it's about making a new one. So what's the secret? How did a gritty mob story about a guy in a fat suit and fake nose get here? It's because The Penguin isn't a superhero show, it's a crime drama, plain and simple. The series masterfully used its connection to the Batman universe as a backdrop, but quickly dove into a deep, character-driven story about power, ambition, and betrayal. By grounding the narrative in a grimy, real-world version of Gotham, it avoided the usual comic book tropes and created a world that feels as dark and complex as any classic gangster saga. It's this ruthless focus on character and atmosphere that won over both audiences and the critics. And at the heart of it all is one of the most shocking transformations ever put on screen. Farrell's performance is nothing short of a revelation. He completely disappears into the role, a stunning feat when you consider the prosthetics and the gravelly Brooklyn accent he adopted. From the first scene, he is no longer the movie star, he is Oswald Cobblepot, a man constantly fighting for respect in a world that sees him as nothing more than a joke. It's a performance so layered and human that it has critics calling it one of the best live-action comic book villain performances of all time. He's not a monster just for the sake of it, he's a man driven by deep-seated psychological pain, and that is a major reason why the show feels so real. In a way, the series gave us the backstory we've always deserved. Fans of the comics know Oswald Cobblepot's classic origin story: a bullied child from a wealthy but neglectful family who was constantly picked on for his short stature and beaky nose. He grew up an outcast, filled with an inferiority complex and a need to prove himself. The Penguin didn't just rehash this, it built on it, exploring the untold psychological traumas that would drive a man to claw his way to the top of the criminal underworld. The show's writers took those core, emotional elements and wove them into a modern crime saga, creating a character who was both monstrous and strangely pitiable. This is what it means to do an origin story right. And what does this mean for the future? The success of The Penguin is a clear signal to studios. This is the way forward for the DC universe. It proves that Matt Reeves' Elseworlds approach is not just a side project but a goldmine of creative potential. With the Batman Part 2 on the way and rumors swirling about other potential spin-offs, this is just the beginning. The show's critical acclaim gives Reeves and his team the freedom to continue exploring the grittiest corners of Gotham without having to worry about a shared cinematic universe. It's been said that the show is loaded with subtle commentary. Fans online have been speculating for months that the ruthless, calculating nature of some characters and their desire for power at all costs were a quiet but intentional critique of certain modern figures. While these are just rumors, it's a testament to the show's depth that it's sparking these kinds of discussions. There's also the fascinating whisper that Sophia Falcone's tragic story, falsely accused and thrown into Arkham, was inspired by a member of a famous real-life political family. While this remains unverified, it adds another layer to a story that is clearly more than just a simple comic book adaptation. So, has The Penguin changed the game for good? It's a show that was never supposed to be this big, but it went from a limited series to an Emmy powerhouse, showing a side of Gotham and its villains that we've never seen before. It proved that a grounded, character-driven story can not only work but can compete with the biggest names in television. The question now is whether other creators others will follow its lead, and whether this is the start of a new, darker, and more emotionally complex era for DC on screen.